business, innovators stand out. When it comes to high-performance boating, those who blaze the trail make the sport better for all of us. Steve Stepp, the president of Velocity Powerboats, is one of those people. High-speed boating and racing have been his passion for most of his life. His winning attitude and his commitment to setting new records make his pleasure boat customers the benefactors of his experience. Steve started racing OPC boats in 1962, and before long was touted as one of the best setup guys around. In the 70s, he moved over into offshore, bringing with him a wealth of knowledge that he'd gained over the previous years.
Well, the technology was advancing so much faster in the OPC boats, so the horsepower that we were getting from the engine manufacturers like Mercury, we had so much horsepower to work with that we had to do a lot of development on the hull designs and the aerodynamics, the hydrodynamics, just to be able to utilize the kind of horsepower that we were being able to get our hands on.
So when you did get into the offshore game, you started building offshore boats, you took the standard Aerono Magnum style of hull and then developed it from there?
Yeah, I took the basic design that they had, which was about the only thing was left, was a 24-degree V, and worked with that. And just took that dead rise and started changing the lifting strakes, the width, the depth, the locations of them. And water and weight and balance all the same, just that the offshore boat is bigger.
And in 1978, Steve rocked the offshore world by taking the OPC-style pad bottom and notch transom and applying it to his new 30-foot Velocity. The idea being that larger boats would also benefit from running on top of the water rather than through it. He hasn't looked back since.
Over the years, we've definitely got our share of national records, world records, world speed records, and I think that really puts a proof to the hull design and the construction of what we do, because offshore racing is absolutely the most positive, best form of testing a design and construction that there's just no equal to it.
Steve's cousin Hurley Stepp is a professional throttleman on the competitive offshore circuit. He explains why, when he's racing a DP, he prefers to be in a Velocity.
With the Velocity, comes in the pad bottom, which is one of the few boats that has it, and it's really nice because it runs fast in calm water, but it's also got a long bottom, so it makes it really nice in the rough water. And one of the things I find really interesting is everyone's going to these ventilator bottoms, and they cannot turn with a Velocity, which is really important these days, especially in the racing circuit. It's getting so much shorter courses, a lot of turns. We can always turn inside of them. These guys have to make wide, sweeping turns. The Velocity can come in really tight to the pins, turn the wheel, and take off. It makes it really nice. Racing is still in your blood. You aren't racing currently, but you are working with a lot of teams.
Yes, quit racing, I think 2 or 3 years ago, as far as getting into boats and going racing in competition, but I spent a lot of time with the customers and showing them throttling positions, steering positions for getting around a turn, how to handle the boats, and different strategies.
Winning is very important to you, Steve Stepp, and of course the company.
Well, definitely. There's only one place, and that's first place.
And finally, after testing, tweaking, running, and winning under the ever-changing conditions of the race course, the Velocity powerboats are ready to be introduced to the pleasure boat market. You know, there are plenty of fast boats around and lots of companies to build them. Personally, I wouldn't ride in one that wasn't built and designed by experienced people with a winning track record. Steve Stepp has proven himself and his Velocity powerboats time and time again, not only by winning championships, but by providing safe, reliable, and exciting performance.